We have a very special guest in studio today. He is a salesman at the Porsche and Cavallino Russo dealership here in St. Louis, the great and powerful Josh Ogilvie. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
Dude, doing
well.
great,
Thanks
man.
for joining us, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thanks
we're
for having me.
excited to get your whole story here, man. So you moved across the world for love. You got hit by a FedEx truck. You're selling Porsches, and you co-own a barbershop. You got a lot of things going on, man. What have you kind of had like a plan, or you just been kind of figuring things out as you go here?
I think I had a plan, moving over to get married. That's what you do. And you just, I got my wife to figure it out. And then when that didn't work out, I just winged it, I guess. Just made some good decisions, made some bad decisions, made some average decisions. And I think most of it has just been winging it, actually, to be honest. So
Yeah.
figuring it out.
So I guess let's go back to, coming up here, growing up in the UK and then coming here. What was that like?
Different
Compared to here.
It's crazy because they say that America and England is two nations divided by a common language. So even though we speak the same language, it's kind of different, and you can't really pinpoint exactly what's different. You just feel different, even though you feel similar. So, growing up in England, I was there for 25 years, same friends since I was basically adopted. So, the whole way through building a lot of relationships, leaving them was tough. You move into a new country, restarting those friendships and figuring out who you know, who you don't know, who you trust, who you don't trust, who you need to be careful around, who you don't need to be careful around. When you're so used to your lifestyle and you just kind of pull yourself out of it, you just starting afresh.
Yeah.
So did you come over here with your fiance at the time, or did you?
No, so I did a year out program with the church back in Manchester. Took a break out of my career, and I was like, I just need a break. Need to recalibrate, figure it all out. And she's from St. Louis, so we met in South Africa in Cape Town. We were doing prison rehabilitation and stuff like that. So that's where we met, and then we decided, okay, I think the best bet is for me to come to America rather than her to come to England. So. There's more opportunity, I think, for her, and as she was there, I think it would have been easier for me to make the adjustment than for her. So that was the decision that we made, is I would come here and start all over again, which is funny.
So you guys met before you guys, or did you guys meet in South Africa?
In South Africa. So I was just this little missionary, whatever worker, and then she was project manager, and we just hit it off. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And then then you're like, all right, I guess I'll
I
move to the US.
guess I'll move to the US. 90-day fiance.
Yeah.
Mail ordered groom.
Mail ordered groom.
Yeah, mail ordered groom.
I like this one. We'll go for him. He's all right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like culturally, what would you say are like the biggest differences from England to the US in your experience so far? Because how many years have you been here now?
It'll be 7 years in September. So 7 years. So, that's a really good question. Again, like I said earlier, it's so hard to pinpoint exactly what. I would say that I think English, we're so brash and just direct that it comes across super rude, kind of saying it how it is. Whereas I feel like. Whereas I feel like in America, it can be very surface level, and like everyone just keeps each other happy. There's no kind of accountability. There's no kind of just like, if your friend's acting like a douchebag, it's kind of like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Like if I'm acting like an idiot, tell me. Like my friends back home will be like, what are you doing that for, you moron? Like, why would you do that? So,
is that what they said when you were moving to America?
For sure. Like, you're just a moron, Mo. You're a moron. Why are you doing that? And I would say, even down to even selling cars in the US was very different. In the UK was very different to selling in the US. It's very fast paced. I buy the car now and I sell it now and I get it delivered now. In England, you buy the car, you go through all the paperwork, and then you just pick it up 2 or 3 days later. And it's just, okay, that's just the process. And I was like, that was the biggest adjustment for me, was being like, no, you got to deliver it right now. I was like, how? Like, what do you mean? Like in England, we had each of the specific models on the lot, and you test drive that one, and then you pick out which one you want. And then 3 days later, it gets PDI'd and detailed, and then you deliver it a few days later, which is actually, I think, is really nice, because all you're focusing on the day to pick up the car is picking up the car, and you just make it super nice, having little plaques, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, here's your car. And I think that's something that could be utilized more. But I think in America, if you did that, they just look for a better deal and call you back a week later and be like, "Hey, I found it cheaper in Jamaica or something." I don't know. So can you get it shipped for free? So,
Damn. So yeah, and that's great. That's why you sold cars over there too, obviously.
yes, I've been selling cars since I was 17. So
Wow.
yeah,
Damn.
so
Awesome.
it's wee while too long.
Yeah.
Too long.
Were you selling luxury vehicles over there too?
So actually, I spent most of my time with Mazda.
Okay.
Mazda in England. So I did a little bit of Mercedes Benz, but again, it's such a different vibe. It's the income potential in England is quarter of what you do and make here in America. It's just very saturated. So, Mazda was a decent brand to be a part of. They're doing a really good job of kind of breaking into that luxury market and do a really good job of it actually. So yeah, I had a lot of success there and enjoyed it.
And so what are some, so coming over here, you get married, right? How long after being here were you guys married? Did you get
So
married?
I moved here. So I flew over September the 28th, got married October the 7th.
Oh, okay.
So literally less than 90-day fiance. But it was, we dated for a year or two before that. Well, sorry, a year and 6 months.
What was that like? Long distance, fucking country to country.
It's tough. I think
time zones and everything.
time zones, there's a lot of things I look back on that I was like, okay, well, that probably wasn't that was probably a bit of a red flag. And that was probably a bit of a red flag. But when you're in love with someone, you just kind of ignore a lot of this stuff. So,
Right.
Waking up at 4 a.m. to have a phone call before she went to bed. And then I'd be up at 7 to drive an hour to get to work. And I think, it's just very different. But long distance dating. And I feel like anyone can date long distance because you don't really have real life. It's not real life that you need to cope with. It's you fly over for a month, you get to hang out in England and Edinburgh and go to all these cool places. And I flew to St. Louis and we get to go to all these cool places, but you never really have those good times and the bad times. It just felt like good times.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it was a real perspective from her point and from my point of what real life would be like together. It was kind of like a culture shock when I moved over and you come here. I haven't even had time to adjust. You get married, my family leave. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm on my own now. Like this is where the rubber hits the road. And like, I don't have my dad to talk to. I don't have my friends. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're just figuring this out. And the same for her as well. I think it was a bit of a culture shock because, she, even though we were together and engaged, I was halfway across the world. And it must have been just a big thing for her as well, just to adjust to that. So yeah, just big adjustments.
And then, and you guys were married for how long?
So we got married October 7th, 2018. So just under 4 years.
Okay.
3 years, sorry. So 2022 is when the separation happened. So
COVID, huh?
Good old COVID.
It got me too.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you know what? Like COVID was one of those things where it was either make or break time, and I think we did a really good job through COVID. I'll say that. I don't think COVID was the issue in our marriage, at least. I think we worked well together. We just got a Great Dane, a little puppy, and so we were working on, training her, and I would go because I got laid off from my job. Actually, I'd started at Porsche. October 2019, and we got laid off because of COVID February, and I was like, okay, well, that's it, that's my job at Porsche over. Surprisingly, they took me back. So I would call friends and be like, hey, do you need jobs doing at the house? I need to earn some money, I need to do something, because I just can't sit at home and do nothing. It's not, I'm not wired that way.
I get stir crazy, man. I gotta move.
I gotta move and groove.
I can't just sit on the couch.
Has Sam ever tried to convince you to get into real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many a time. Yeah.
No, don't want to do that. Don't make that
I mean, do you know what I'd say? I don't think.
I think you'd be good at it.
A lot of that and financial advising. I have an amazing book of business through Porsche. So I've met some amazing people, some great connections, and I've built a lot of trust with a lot of people that I would never really have met on the street, or if I was doing reverse interviews and come back, hey, I'd love to get 20 minutes of your time. But you sit with, enterprise execs and general partners at Edward Jones and just have hours of time with them because they're in the dealership. We're just, hanging out and buying cars. Financial advising and real estate has been something I've considered, but it's just, I have no idea. I don't know what to expect or what to do. And I think my comfort level is in Porsche. I know it. I know everything I need to do and how to do it. So I don't know if that's a punty answer. Be like, oh, I'm scared of it, but I just have no idea what to expect. So.
I mean, your social media is great.
Thank
you guys, the stuff you post on there is hilarious, and I mean, it does. I mean, it lends credibility, but in a fun way to what it is that you know and do about Porsche. Right. So I mean, I understand why you're good at it. So why leave it? No?
Right.
Yeah. Well, you do a fun. Yeah, you do a lot of like funny stuff. It's I would say it's very similar to a lot of the stuff that I do on mine. I don't know if you've looked at any of my social media, but it's a lot of, I make a lot of jokes about real estate a lot.
Right.
And you do the kind of the same thing with selling cars, and it's like it's easy. It's it's an easy thing because I feel like everybody on a lot of people on social media, especially real estate agents, it's all like serious all the time. But it's like I don't know. It just that stuff doesn't get my attention.
Right.
Like I get on social media to be entertained, and it's like I like to look at funny stuff, or I like to look at like crazy stuff, and like I generally go to the funny stuff. So like that, and that's easy for me. It's just, and I have a lot more fun making that stuff than like the more serious content.
Right. It's I think, it's when you work in a luxury retailer, it's always prim proper, and I've got to have my suit on, and I'm just me, and I think it's the credibility's there when you're just acting like yourself, and I just enjoy the funny aspect of it. I enjoy having a laugh. I am probably way too goofy than I should be, but that's just me, and that's why I would say that's been a success of mine, to just be me throughout the process of meeting clients and meeting people. And if you're just trying to authentically be yourself, you don't have to remember what you said or what you did to people. You just you, and some people like it and some people hate it, and that's okay.
Yeah. I'm the same way, man.
Yeah,
same way.
It makes for a stronger business, and,
right?
It's just the clients remember you and they want to continue to come back and work with you. So
right.
Yeah, sure. Well, how did you, when you came here, like what made you start working at Porsche?
No, I mean, I've always wanted a Porsche. Everyone has. It's been the poster you have on your wall. It's like the 911. I want the 911.
Yeah.
But I would say I actually came over to America, and I was like, I want to do something different. So when I first came over, I couldn't work. So what I did was I worked for a guy who is in Arnold, and I moved gym equipment. Like, I'm just a short little weak ass European. And I was like hauling treadmills upstairs and driving to Chicago, packing down gyms, putting them in a lorry, driving back, a truck, I'm driving back. And that's what I did. And then, I wanted to do something different. So that was what I did, because I didn't have work employment. So I had to do like cash in hand jobs. And when you're going from 6 figures to making $10 an hour, you do what you got to do as a man. Sure. I'm a husband now. I just got to do something. I can't sit at home and feel sorry for myself. I got to just get on with it. And then from there, I got a job at Technology Partners in Chesterfield as an IT recruiter. And for me to be sat in a booth all day, like, do you know JavaScript? Do you know SQL? I was like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. And I was just sat here making calls to these random people and saying, do you want this job? And I would submit things, and they'd be like, why the heck have you submitted this guy for this job? Because I have no idea. Like, it seemed like he was a good fit. So that lasted about, I think, a month and a half. And then I moved to, and then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go back into car sales. And then I went to, because I knew Mazda, I went to Bommarito Mazda in South County. And I was there for a month and spoke to one person. I was like, this can't be my career. Like, I went from selling 20, 30 cars a month to speaking to one client. And maybe that was me. Maybe that was me just not being proactive and trying to speak to people. I was still adjusting to the American culture and talking to people. I was like, hello, how are you? I'm Josh from England. And then everyone looked like you got two heads. I'm like, what? I'm sorry. And then I went to Suntrup, which is down the way from there. Oh, do you need to wait? Oh, Suntrup used cars. And I was there for 2 months, sold a few cars. I actually have on my Instagram the first car I sold in America, which is kind of cool. Brittany and what's his name? I can't remember his name, but yeah, they were awesome. It was a Ford Taurus. I had no idea what a Ford Taurus was. I was like, what the heck is this thing? We don't have these in England. This is cool. And so I sold that, and I was like, okay, maybe we got it. And so, sorry, what got me to Porsche? When I was dating my ex-wife, when we were flying to and from St. Louis and Manchester, I would come and visit car dealerships and be like, hey, I'm planning on moving. I'm planning on coming here. And the most traction I got actually was with Range Rover, Plaza Range Rover, and then Porsche St. Louis. And so I walked in, and then, so I went in 3 or 4 times before I moved here. And then I didn't get the job, ironically. And then the sales manager from there said, hey, we're looking at taking someone on in the last quarter of 2019. Would you be interested? I was like, yep, see you Monday. He was like, okay, cool. So that's how that went. So a few interviews. Actually working there for a few years, there was 3 people that were like, we shouldn't hire him because I'd bounce from place to place. So like there was no credibility in terms of my work history. And I get that from being in America. I mean, 3 dealerships in 3 months is just ridiculous. It's not a good look. And so 3 of the managers were like, oh yeah, well, we shouldn't hire him. I don't think it's a good fit. And one guy called Eric was like, I think we should take a chance. And thankfully they did. And I've been there ever since. And so my 6th year this year.
That's amazing.
Which is awesome.
I'm surprised that with Range Rover, Land Rover being a UK brand, that they wouldn't take it on. You know? I
don't know. It just, again, you get a vibe when you meet with people. Yeah. And I don't know. I just didn't feel I had that with there, but Porsche just felt like I was like, okay, this feels good. This feels good.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
Well, so, I mean, what was it like after getting divorced, being by yourself here in America? Like, what was that like? What, like, going through all that alone? Like, you move over here for this, that doesn't work out, and here you are in America on your own.
Right. It was a hard transition, and I think I made some stupid decisions. And, you know, when your whole identity is like, I came here to be a husband, I came here to be that, and when that leaves and you lose your dog and your money and your house and your whatever and your blah blah blah, and it was just an adjustment. And there's things I did well and there's things I did badly.
Did you ever think about going back home?
Oh, 100%. And then I went back home because I had the accident at the same time. So not only did that happen, and I don't think that helped towards it, like at all. I think if I'd have been in a better mental place as well, maybe it might have worked, maybe it might have not. I think, I don't know. There was situations that happened in that marriage that were just crazy. So it was an adjustment. So I think I think as of this year has probably been the best I've been in a long time. So I still had to get back to work after the surgery and stuff. I had to go back to work to pay for everything and do everything. And it was, and then I don't have my family. I don't have anyone. I'm just figuring this all out, and I just plowed into work.
What do you think you learned about yourself during that time?
That I'm not as strong as I thought I was.
Yeah.
I think we always had this ethos of being like, oh, I'm a man and I can get through this and I can do that. And it's okay to not be okay. Like we just spoke of that earlier. Like it's okay to struggle. Yeah. And it's okay to not be your best. And it's okay to make mistakes. Because we all do. We're human. Like we're not built perfectly. We're not the Lord Christ himself, you know. Yeah. We make mistakes, and I don't think I had an identity outside of being a husband. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just what am I now? So I built some friendship groups, some good, some bad. Started the barbershop. That was awesome. And put myself into some good things finally. So yeah, it was good. Yeah.
So the barbershop, how'd that come about?
Actually, it's an interesting story. So one of my, I hate the word best friend, one of my closest friends, Zach, he was working at a barbershop, and then some stuff happened. And then he went from there to a single chair salon suite thing in Baldwin, so like my salon suites, which is not a bad place. But when you cut in the Blues guys and Cardinals people and, you know, some of the top level clients in St. Louis, I was like, dude, you shouldn't be in here. He's like, well, I don't know what to do. I was like, well, let's get you out of here. And so in my naivety of it, I was just like, I'll just pay for it all and we'll make it work afterwards. And so, yeah, and don't do that. It's not the best way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how close you are with someone. And I'm not saying anything's bad. It's just make sure, you know, or on the flip side of it, why did I do it? Did I do it to make money, or did I do it to help my friend? And I think I would go with the latter. I did it to help my friend. So we actually started a shop in Shaw. So right near Sasha's Wine Bar.
Yeah.
And it was fine. Like we had 3 barbers there, and it was great for Zach because his clientele just came wherever. Whereas the other two, it was hard for them to build clientele because you're in Shaw, there's not many walk-ins. And so, ironically, the barbershop that Zach used to work at, one of the barbers was friends with the old owner, and he was like, I just want to sell this business. I'm done with it. So I was like, perfect. Awesome, perfect. So we bought that business. So we had Shaw and we had Kirkwood at the same time, but we were hemorrhaging money. So it was $2,700 a month. Sorry, $2,700 a month for Shaw, and then $2,500 for Kirkwood. But we only had 3 barbers, which pay $300 a week, and so one of the shops was just absolutely annihilating us, and that was Shaw because it was just Zach in there, and the other 2 barbers we put in Kirkwood. So we closed down Shaw and moved everyone to Kirkwood, and that's been the best decision ever. It's just been one shop managing it all. We revamped the whole place. I don't know if you'll put a handle on, but check it out. It's pretty cool. We spent a bunch of money just making it current and up to date, and super proud of the shop and where it is at the minute.
Where's it at in Kirkwood?
So the Honeybee biscuit place, literally the barbershop opposite that.
Oh,
so it's right in the center. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it's right in the center. So
I was literally right by there this morning. Our title company we closed.
Absolutely. We have who do we have? We have Brian in the front right, Prince in the middle, Zach, and then we have Dom on the left and Braden on the left as well. So yeah, we have a full shop which is awesome. We're going to open two more chairs over in the far corner. So it's a good spot. It's good to hang out, and you never know who's going to walk in. So when we have some clients and you sit next to Blues players and Cardinals players, like I said, so it's cool. Really it's cool. Like it's nice that they can come there and feel comfortable there as well.
How often are you in there?
Once a week, I try to. Yeah, so I just had it done before. Yeah, so I want to look pretty, gotta look good for the guys.
So you look great.
I had to plug the shop, so anytime my hair looking good, I can't looking like a toilet brush, So, you should go.
Yeah,
get a short back and sides.
Yeah. I just started the just shaving the whole thing. I'm probably like 6 weeks into it now. Dude, I was just getting so tired of the way it was looking. I was
right.
I had the cul-de-sac in the back, and the widow's peak was so deep, and I was like, dude,
I'm done.
I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm just shaving it all off, and I did kind of slowly did it. I was just doing a 2 all over for a while, and then it was like a 1 all over, and then one
just
day
get the razor and
that was literally it. I was like, I probably need to go get a haircut, and I was like, and I'm like looking at the one that I shaved my beard with right there, and I'm like,
let's give this a go.
Fuck it, And I didn't tell my wife, and I called her. I was like, hey, honey, I just did something.
Oh dear.
Yeah, she's like, What'd you do?
That could be anything. Those friends that call you.
Well, I shaved off all my hair.
Oh dear.
All of it. And I'm like, yeah, all of it.
Oh dear.
And she was not happy. She's used to it now. But I just started.
Don't get rid of the beard.
No, as long as I keep the
3
beard.
years old.
Yeah, exactly. As long as I keep the beard, I think that's
a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win. Yeah, I mean, thankfully I can grow that at least. Yeah.
Exactly.
More hair on my back than my fucking head at this point.
I was going to say
that damn testosterone.
There was a point where I had so much hair on my back that he would have to blend my back hair into my neck hair. And I was like, damn, Zach, that's crazy.
That's hilarious. But so going with this one thing I wanted to ask you, just being from England,
right?
And like I mentioned before, I listened to a podcast where the guy's from Britain a lot, and or he's from Britain, and something he brings up a lot is that per capita, England has more millionaires leaving there than any other country.
Right?
Is that why do you think that is?
I'll go back to what I said earlier. I think just the saturation of England. You've got 60-something million people in a country,
small little area
in a country that you can fit 5 of them in Texas. So it is crazy. I mean, you've got 340 million people in America. The concentration between the just amount of people, and your money just doesn't go as far. So my parents' home, they live in a modest, 5-bed, 3-bath, semi-detached house. That's nearly £1 million, which is 1.3 million, $1.2 million. And that house, I live in a house bigger than that at the minute, and I paid $400,000 for mine, $400,000, which is £350,000. Right. My sister's home was £400,000, which is $540,000, and it's a 986 square foot, 3-bed, 1-bath, semi-detached. It's crazy. Like,
how do you fit 3 beds and 3 bedrooms and 2 baths in it?
Tightly. Yeah, I mean, I've got one of my rentals is it's like just over 1,000, and it's 3 beds, but it's not a big house.
Crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's not a big house by any means. Wow, and one of the other things he kind of talks about a lot is like just the culture of success, like
Mhm.
it feels like you know you're kind of, if you're wanting to do more, be more, like, and build a greater life for
Mhm.
yourselves, you kind of feel like you're being pushed down. Is that something you felt there?
I was never like I was way too comfortable in England. Like I just did my job, went home, did my job, went home, did my job, went home, did my job, went home. I never really explored into entrepreneurship or anything like that. I just did my job and went back home. So but I would say unless you're corporately successful, like my dad worked for AstraZeneca and he developed cancer drugs for a living. So he has two on the market. And I wouldn't say that people looked at him like, "Oh, you're a piece of crap because you're
Right, because
making
you're making
'cause
cancer
you're
drugs.
making cancer drugs." But if he was like, "Oh, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm selling candy for,"
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
profit.
So for
Yeah,
profit, then you're. So I would say that it just depends on what kind of
what
field
kind of
and front,
industry
yeah,
you're
what
in.
industry, yeah. So with cancer drugs, it's like, oh, you're saving people's lives,
Right,
and
but if you're
but if you're just making money for the sake of making money, it's
Right.
kind of like you're right. It's like average salary in the UK is what, it's like 30,000 pounds.
it's
Yeah,
crazy,
which
and,
is
and
nuts.
how
Like
and
something like that.
how expensive the real estate is and stuff. It's
Correct.
like,
But it's just a whole different world, and that's what everyone's used to. So there's no you never see, like, well, you do, but depends what area you're in. But you never see the amount of Porsches and Ferraris and whatever driving around St. Louis, and St. Louis isn't even like the
no, I was
richest
gonna say,
area.
not at all.
It's just very different. And gas, well, petrol in England is so
Petrol.
expensive. It's unreal. So it's crazy.
Would you say the definition of success is different in UK versus over here?
It's a good question. The definition of success is different. I think maybe. Again, I was never successful. Like, I wouldn't say I'm successful now. I do pretty well, but I wouldn't say so. I've never really had that comparison till being in America. But I would say moving back, everyone's like, "Oh, Moneybags Josh, like driving Porsches around," and like,
Yeah.
I'm just.
I work there.
I work there, dude. Come on, like, I got a great discount. No, I don't really. But yeah, maybe I think success is more like family and what you can do for other people, and like everyone. I would say that there's more of a handout mentality in England, I would say, whereas in America, I think you just kind of got to go do and go get, like, eat what you kill, not kill what you eat. Both, whatever way around it, eat what you kill. So. Kill what you eat. Yeah, so it works both ways, kind of, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say it's probably slightly different.
Gotcha. So it's a little bit more charitable
Charitable
on the other
Yep.
on over there than here.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Free healthcare.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say with you. So I guess let's get in. I don't know how much about it you can talk about, but the accident.
Yeah. I can't. So Jim Avery, who was on, was it 2 weeks
Yes.
ago? Yeah, he's my lawyer.
Oh, he's your lawyer.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
my lawyer. So, I don't know what I can and can't talk
we don't
about,
have to
No.
but it's one of them where, it's been incredible, kind of just seeing the amount of cost that's behind healthcare.
Wow.
It's crazy. Like it's insane. And I don't know how the NHS in the UK do it. There's billions and billions and billions of pounds just getting paid for, and that's probably why we pay 54% tax or whatever it is. So, but yeah, it's I think, but you can get private healthcare in England.
Oh,
So
you
can. There is an option to do that.
Just
And
expensive.
it's not as
Oh,
expensive. It's actually way cheaper.
really?
Really?
Way cheaper. So
you're still paying the 54%.
but you're still paying the
tax, yeah.
54%.
Yeah, so
So it works out as expensive. And I'm saying 54% if you're at the top level of earnings and you have a company car and you do all this, that's like
Mhm.
you pay more tax than you earn, which is just crazy to me. But yeah, seeing that, and I've it's been an interesting journey going through that whole stuff and being in and out of
Especially here,
hospital and different things going on and how other things affect other things, and in terms of health wise. So but yeah, it's I think the hardest battle has been the mental stuff for sure.
I was going to ask you about that because
Yeah.
we talk about that a lot, especially, we're in July now, but June was mental health stuff. You know, how's that accident changed things mentally for you?
I would say it's changed a few, because you associate it with the divorce as well. So everything in that, like everything in a 6-month period changed. My health, my mental state, my marriage, relationships, my friends, my family, everything just took a 180. And I was like, what the heck am I doing? I think I definitely struggled way more than I realized mentally. And all I had was my job. So I just plowed myself into my job and hope for the best. It got pretty dark sometimes, and you don't really know who to talk to because you're like, I don't know anyone well enough to be like, hey, I'm struggling with this. What do I do? But as you allow people in and you're honest about how you're feeling, it's not like, oh, you're pathetic because you're struggling with this mental mind frame. No, it's like, hey, like, how can we help? What can we talk about? What can we do? Because sometimes you just don't know what to do. Sometimes you just want to sit next to someone, not say a thing, and just have someone there. Sometimes, but yeah, it's.
I've heard that that's a good tell for like who your best friend is. Is like who can you sit in a room with and say nothing,
right?
And be comfortable.
Yeah,
which I've thought about that, and I was like, that's really true because I feel like I'll be in rooms a lot where you just feel like you need to be talking. But
correct.
Then, like if I'm sitting there with like Pat or my best friend Nick, like we could just sit in silence,
right?
Like watch TV. We don't have to be talking. Like that's or like my wife, I can sit and just watch a show, like or just sit in a room. She's doing something, I'm doing something, and like we don't have to talk.
Right.
I think that's a good sign for one of your best friends.
And that's what you find when you it's just to coincide that with the barber chair. Like I don't know, when you sit in a barber's chair and you just relax and you're just cutting your hair, you can talk about some things, you can relax, take it easy. And Zach's been a very good friend throughout the years, and he's one of those people that you can sit and just you don't have to talk. Yeah. And he's not like, oh, I love you, bro. I love you. Like he's just like, I'm just here. Like I'm not going to tell you all the time that I love you or I care about you or whatever. Like I'm just a friend and I'm a consistent friend. So
I think. How'd you guys meet? Your ex-wife?
Actually, ironically, my ex-wife found him online and was like, I think you should go get your hair cut by this guy. And I sat in the barber's chair, and he was at Smith & Sims down in Frontenac at that point. And the biggest pet peeve for a barber is someone else, like a wife or a husband, telling someone how their hair should be cut. And I was like, hey, can I have it? And my wife was like, no, this is what we're going to do. And then so I was like, oh no,
it's my head.
No. And so I just sat there and I just was like, okay, whatever, this is how it's going to go. And then I just kept going back to him, and we just hit it off. Just became good friends. And we never became good friends until after the separation and stuff. We were friends, and he took me to my first Blues game and stuff because obviously he gets tickets from the guys, and it was good. I've experienced. Went to the lake with him, like Lake of the Ozarks. The first time I went there, I was like, "What's all these cigarette boats? What is this noise? What is this craziness?" Because we don't have anything like that in England, and shooting and hunting and guns and all that. So, and
America.
I was like, "What is this handheld device that shoots things at high propulsion?" So I was like, it's been good. It's been good. So
I guess that's something probably didn't experience a lot over there.
I never touched a gun until I was in America.
Yeah.
I remember actually that's a funny story. My dad, my uncles hate guns, like full on English, like, oh no, we don't do this stuff like that.
We get into knife fights over here.
We just stab each other. And so
we're a lot more educated.
For my bachelor trip, my uncles, my dad, my father-in-law at the time, and mentor, we all went for a hike up Tom Sock. And so we were all waiting in the car park, and all I hear was bang, bang, bang. My father-in-law literally walked up to my uncle, my uncles, and my dad was stood in a circle. He just shot the thing 3 times into the ground, just went, put it in his pocket and walked off. And I was like, what the heck? And they just, the whole ride back were just absolutely just like, what just happened? Like as if someone just shot me or something. It was crazy.
Well, have you gotten to experience any other parts of America since you've been over here?
Any other parts? Yeah. So Rosemary Beach, love that place. Have a Rosemary Beach.
Yeah, there in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's lovely. 30A is great.
Yes.
Destin, BPA, what's it called? So where's the Grand Canyon? Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay, Arizona. Atlanta with Porsche a few times. Chicago. Where else have I been? Nashville. Probably other places, but not as much traveling as I would like to do. That's definitely something I want to do and explore a wee bit more.
Yeah, me too. There's a lot. I've been here my whole life, and there's a lot of places.
Same.
Like, I've never even been to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should. It's pretty impressive.
That's what I've heard.
You feel very minuscule. Like sat in this whole cavern, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is nuts. Crazy.
That's definitely on the bucket list for sure.
I will say that was one of that was a great perk with baseball, is getting to see getting to see a lot of the country. So I mean, obviously not all the big things, but I mean, got to see some cool little towns and things like that that you wouldn't just travel to, but are really cool.
Right.
So I think the only countries I haven't been to are Alaska and Maine. Are the only two that I haven't been to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Damn, you've been everywhere then.
Yep.
Pretty awesome.
Yep.
Well traveled.
Yeah, well traveled.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny you mentioned that, because there's a guy on TikTok from the UK that does funny shit, and it's like shit that you can get in America that you can't have in the UK.
Is it Josh from England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also talking about like how, Europeans think like, oh, these Americans aren't very well traveled, and like, have you been to America?
You been to America?
Yeah.
You can fly. So I think that's just a misconception, because I take a 2-hour flight in America and I end up in Texas or whatever,
Right.
or California or whatever. I don't know. But you take a 2-hour flight in Europe and you're in a completely different country. Completely different country.
You look at Europe on a map and you look at the United States on a map. It's like the United States is bigger.
It'd be like if every state was a country.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
Correct.
And it kind of is. I mean, each one kind of is their own little country. Like, they've got different rules. And every state has different rules. Like I can have my gun on me here, but if I drive into Illinois, I can't have my gun on. Things like that.
But how does that work? Like, so if you're traveling from, say I want to go to St. Louis, I want to go up to Michigan or whatever it is, and you travel through Illinois, do you have to like take your gun out, hide it, lock it, and then leave it, or like do you not take it with you?
So usually, so driving down to Florida, for example, with my ex-wife's boyfriend and all that, he always carries. I've got mine. When we're driving, we just keep it in its case, locked, and keep the bullets and all that separate.
Okay.
So yeah, and if you get pulled over, you just have to let you gotta let them know, like, hey, listen, from Missouri, I've got my conceal and carry. I've got a gun in the car, and
it's here and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and you just let them know, and then they can decide from there how they want to handle the situation. But usually, if you're pretty upfront with them and you let them know if there's something like that happens, they're gonna be like, all right, well, obviously this guy is not trying to hide anything. He's telling me he's got a gun.
Yeah.
So, but there might be times where they could ask you to get out of your car and things like that. Right. So, but
interesting.
Yeah, but I haven't had run into any issues with it.
Yeah, in England, if you get caught with a gun, you just game over.
Yeah.
You have a gun in the car.
Yeah.
Dead. Goodbye.
Well, the cops don't.
Welcome to the gulag.
Guns, right?
Huh?
The cops don't even.
Some of them do. So they have armed police. So if you go into the airports, they'll have like MP5s and AR-15s. But it's more of a presence. Like if you see a cop with a gun, like around Buckingham Palace, like it's like, oh crap, what's going on here? Like they have a lot more presence. I've always thought about that whole gun law thing. Like I think it makes sense if you have had guns for the last 200 years or however, like 300 years or how long it's been.
But if all of a sudden they just introduce
like no guns, like that doesn't make sense. It's like if in England, on the flip side, if everyone got guns, like people just, rather than getting stabbed, everyone would just get shot. Like it's crazy. So I think, England having opinions on gun laws in America is the most pointless thing ever. Like, whatever. Like, it is what it is. So I've got way more used to it now, and I agree. Like, if you're walking down Missouri and North County or wherever the heck it is, I don't know where the roughest area is, but if you're in the center of town and someone pulls a gun on you and you don't have a gun, what are you going to do? If someone pulls a gun on you, you pull a gun out as well. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, it just makes sense. It makes sense.
If everybody's armed, it's kind of a safer thing, and then only the criminals are being armed. At least that's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We can have a whole conversation about that.
Yeah.
We won't go down that rabbit hole. What was something that when you first got over here that was kind of like a big culture shock for you?
Oh gosh, big culture shock.
How fat we are?
Yeah.
No, because I can't say anything. I need to lose my weight. No, I think genuinely the size. Like the size of everyone in America is ridiculous. Like everyone's just tall and big, and I'm like, what the heck? Like no wonder you guys have supersized food because you're all like 7 foot tall. So like being a shorter, I don't know. I'm not exactly short. I'm like 5'7" or whatever I am.
We're the same height.
So I'm not exactly short, but you feel
Oh,
short. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Bro, I feel
Yeah, look at
this. On this guy all the time. I feel short all the time. Trust me, I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but then I stand next to someone who's like 5'3", and I'm like, look at me.
Oh, look at me. I am big man.
Looking down under you. Yeah.
And I would say that's the only thing. But culture, like, you asked me that question. Like, culturally, it's just, I think it's harder to build deeper friendships, like super deep friendships. And so people pick up and drop you whenever. But that's been the only thing. Like, and other than that, it's been kind of fun redefining myself here in America.
Yeah.
And you see yourself staying here for the long haul?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you're here. You're not going back.
I don't think so,
No.
unless everything goes crazy. I mean, who knows? Who knows what the future has in store? But as it stands, I bought a house and settled here and have my career, and there's no reason I'd just be starting again from the beginning,
right,
in England. So,
yeah. You got it pretty good here,
right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think I've done okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take it for granted.
And that family, all your family still back in
everyone.
Yeah,
everyone. So my mom, my dad, my sister, nephews. I come from a huge family in England, so it's like 38 of us in total. And that's just on my dad's side. So my mom's side, there's a little less. So
how often are you talking to them, or?
I try and talk to them every other day or every few days. Too much. My dad's not a very talkative person. He's great, awesome guy, but it's usually same conversations, and it's so hard over FaceTime. It's just different, you know. Having that face-to-face time is
the time zone thing too.
Right.
Like, what's the time difference between here?
6 hours ahead.
Okay.
So it's 6 hours ahead. And they were super supportive through the door. My dad actually came over. I was living out in Chesterfield, and he slept on the couch just to be there. Yeah, he's a great. Yeah, he's a good dad. He's a good man.
Do they come over often?
We try and see each other every year, whether I go there
or
they come here. I've been back in 7 years, 6, 8 years. I've been back 3 times. So not as much as I like. And you go back and people are having kids in 2 years and getting married, and you're like, what the heck?
Whoa,
like, it's
that's
so
different.
like, I'm like completely different. I see my nephews, and when I left America, my nephew was 6 months old, and now he's 7, and my other nephew's 13 this year. I'm like, I just feel like I'm just missing out on all this crazy stuff going on. But yeah, it's where I'm at.
Do they ever come over here?
Yeah, they do. Oh, my nephews? No, they've never been.
No.
No, my sister's an interesting one. So,
okay.
Yeah, she's a good egg, but she's.
Is it just your sister? Is your only sibling?
My sister's my only sibling. She was adopted from a different family.
Okay.
So yeah, my mom, my dad, and my sister are all from different families, which is a blending pot of people, which is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you mentioned in the questionnaire about being like a father figure to your friends' kids and all that. And do you think being a father figure without being a biological father has taught you anything unique about manhood?
Yeah, I think it's taught me that when you're a father figure without being a father, I think it would be easy for you to just be like, hey, I'm not interested anymore. But you've got to make a decision to through the thick and the thin. It's like, look, and a lot of the father figureness in that aspect is more like an uncle, I would say. Like,
you're the
funkle. Yeah, the funkle. It can get a little crazy because I'm just a big kid myself. So as you've experienced before, Pat. But it's great. Like, I think there's just kids have this bullshit meter. Excuse my French, but whether you're a genuinely good person or not, and they can pick that up pretty quickly. And I think I just get on well with young adults, kids, adults. I just have a joy of people. I just love people. So, but yeah, it's definitely taught me that you've got to make a decision. And even through marriage, like that breaking down your decision when you marry someone, or you want to choose to be in a relationship with someone, there's always going to be things that come up, or people that come up, or better looking people, or worse looking people. You made a decision to be with that person, and you, no matter what's going on, it's like, I'm choosing this person every single day. Same with these mentorship relationships. Like, I'm going to choose you through your thick and your thin, and we're going to make it through, and we're going to make it work, and I'm going to guide you and help you the best I can. Do I have all the answers? Heck no. Will I help you figure them out? Heck yes.
Yeah.
So.
And you coming over here, no family or friends. What's been something that you've kind of dove into that's really helped build some friendship, those long lasting friendships, good friendships, strong friendships?
I think church has been one.
Yeah.
It's
Is that how you and Sam met?
Yeah, that's how me and Sam met. So church has been one, and I think there's a difference with churches. We were talking about this earlier. You can either get bashed across the head with the Bible. The church I go to in Webster is more of a family. So I think like there's just mentorship, accountability. No one's like cramming the Bible down your throat. People are just being good people. Like people are just there, helpful whenever you need it. So there's been some good friendships. And I think making the decision to not sit in my own squalor and feel sorry for myself and be like, actually, look, I know things are crap. Things are tough. I'm not feeling great, but I got to go out and I got to go and hang out with people and do things again. So, I used to play rugby and go snowboarding and do it. And I couldn't do that anymore. So I was like, how do you build these relationships not knowing how to do that? And like you sat in coffee shops and you do feeling like, punsy man, but that's just how life is. Like I'll figure it out and I'll get better at some point in the aspect of just figuring out what my body is capable of. But yeah, I don't want to risk. Like if your friends are all on jet skis, like I can go on a jet ski, but I'm always thinking like, if I've come off this jet ski wrong, like I just won't walk again. So, it's just adjusting how you would usually do it and doing it differently. If that makes any sense whatsoever. So
prior to the accident and all that, were you pretty active?
Oh yeah. I used to move gym equipment up and down stairs and I used to snowboard. I used to like rugby, everything, like you name it. I just loved adrenaline, anything that could get the adrenaline going, mountain biking, boxing, whatever else. So yeah, it does, but it's life. It is what it, I hate saying it is what it is, but that is what it is. And it sucks. And when your friends are all like, oh, we're going to go for a snowboard trip to Colorado, you're like, you can come and hang out. I'm like, but I'm just going to watch you all having fun. And I could do it, but to what expense?
Is the risk worth it?
Is the risk worth the reward? And that's the hardest thing is you've got to make that decision with everything. Right. Like if my friends are going on 4-wheelers, I used to love 4-wheelers and side-by-sides and all that jazz. But if I can't, I just got to be careful. So, yeah. Damn, son.
Damn. Well, going back to selling cars, what's something that people totally misunderstand about sales, especially selling like high-end vehicles?
Oh gosh, that we're all sleazy salespeople.
Yeah,
I think there are sleazy salespeople. Don't get me wrong.
Just in
anything, like there's sleazy mortgage lenders and everything.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Sleazy
Absolutely.
real estate agents for sure. Yeah.
But I again, the product I sell and then with luxury car sales it's different. Like you're here because you want it. You're not here because you need it. Or I'm gonna have to force you into it. Actually, I say that to every single one of my clients. Is that look, if I'm convincing you to buy this car, it's probably not the right car for you. But if I'm helping you purchase the car that's right for you, then we're doing a good job. So I think when people are so used to fake salespeople, just like, oh, how was your day? And all stuff like that, like there's a genuine care from luxury car selling that I think our dealership does a good job of. I think our salespeople care a lot about our clients. And, the other day I was at one of my clients, I drove out to St. Charles just to program his garage because he was struggling with it. Now you could just be like, whatever, Google it, YouTube it, figure it out. Or you can just go and be like, hey, how's it going? Catch up. And then they remember you.
Yeah. The opportunity to
build value and redefine the role of a salesperson. Because through COVID, I think it made salespeople lazy. Because people were desperate to buy. And and all these people now, a year or two later after COVID, you're actually going to have to sell cars. And it's different. And everyone's like figuring everything out again. And people paying 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 over for cars. Well, what position are they in now? So, it's, I think that would be the conception is just people are genuine. Like I think sometimes they're not, but in our dealership, I think we try and be as honest and real as we possibly can.
Yeah. Well, what's the coolest car you think you did that you've ever sold?
Coolest car I've ever sold actually was the one I had the accident in.
Really?
Which is kind of funny. Which was a Ferrari 488 Pista Spider. Oh, I think that was fun. So, and yeah, I don't know if you've ever been in or drove them. They're just amazing vehicles. But that would be the coolest. My favorite car I sell all the time has to be the 911 Turbo S. That thing is just, it's amazing. I love it. It's so quick and it's just comfortable. And for a sports car, and I mean 0 to 60, that Porsche's rated 0 to 60 is 2.6. They've been clocked at 2.1, 2.2, and They are phenomenally fast. So if you ever met anyone who's had a Turbo S, take a spin in it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
What was it that Jim got?
What has Jim not got?
Well,
that's the question to ask. Jim just got a GT3 RS, which is not the pinnacle of straight line speed. No, it's still quick. It's like 3.10 to 60, but 3.40 to 60, I think. Gosh, that's bad. I can't remember that. Anyway, either way, the thing has 1,800 pounds of downforce more than the previous generation GT3. So the reason for that is round the corner, there's nothing that's going to get round the corner quicker than a GT3 RS. The big wing, the aero kits, everything like that. So he has the pinnacle of Porsche Motorsport. The Turbo S is the pinnacle of just straight line aggressive stupidity, which the Turbo S will still corner quickly, but not as aggressively or as well as the GT3 RS. So yeah.
So
You've seen it, I assume. Have you been in it?
I haven't. No,
Oh, you need to.
It's that gray one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's
Yeah,
cool.
He pulled up in that when he did the podcast that day.
Yeah.
And I remember pulling up. I was like, "Who the fuck is driving that?"
Yeah, that's big Jim, big Jim,
Yeah.
Avery and Drew Law.
Yeah. Damn, man.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine in at Porsche, you guys probably have some people that come in and just like kick tires, right?
You'd be surprised. Like, I think Porsche's on the cusp. Like, you wouldn't walk into a Lamborghini dealership, but can I drive that Huracan Performante, please? Like, it just wouldn't happen. And the same with Porsche. Like, you sometimes do, but you can kind of fish out like if they're legit or not. Or if they're it's not even that, like,
or if they're serious.
Or if they're serious. Yeah, I don't think money is a thing with Porsche clients, because a lot of Porsche clients will have Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and working at the Ferrari dealership as well, it kind of flip and flops. I don't think money's a thing, but I think the seriousness of it, like, again, someone wants to buy the car, or if they're just like, I don't really care. So
yeah.
I'm assuming a lot of your clients now are not just here in St. Louis. You're getting orders from all over the country.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's probably
All
the
over.
majority.
Well, so Porsche have just stopped this, but we used to not be able to sell out of state. Ferrari cannot sell out of state new cars.
Why?
Really?
Because they have order banks, and they have, so if there is you have to buy within the Ferrari dealership that's closest to you. So, for example, if someone lives right between Nashville and St. Louis, whichever one's closest is where they have to do their order, unless you have an established relationship. So that mentality of, I have to buy this car and that car to buy that car, that's if you want to buy from a different dealership, or if you want to have the exclusive orders. So there's truth in that as well.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit for the people out there that don't know with like Ferrari, how like you can't just like go buy one, or
That was
you explain it.
that.
Yeah.
So there are certain models you can buy. So like the 296s, but the problem is there's so limited productions that they will prioritize established relationships, which is a great business model, but a really bad one at the same time. Because if, for example, if I or you come into substantial amounts of money, where do you start? Where do you start your relationship? Do you have to pay over for a used car? Probably, but that's just because like, you could go in at the right time and someone's canceled their Ferrari order, and you're like, okay, I'll jump on that one. So that is usually the process. It's like, if you have a client you've sold 5 houses to, and you have a new client, and you know this one you sold 5 houses to is looking for a house, and you have an appointment at the same time, which one are you going to go for?
5 houses.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's the same with if someone's bought 5 Ferraris or 5 Porsches or 6 Ferraris and 3 Porsches. Are they going to have credibility over the one that's just like, I want to buy this car? And, it's so hard to know what the right or wrong thing is. All I can do is represent my client in the best way. But I usually set up, like, for example, Jim, when I first met Jim, which was 3 years ago, he was like, I want the GT3 RS. I said, Jim's probably not going to happen. Like, it's probably not. Like, I'm just going to be straightforward with you. We can establish relationships and you can buy as many cars as possible, but I just want to say, like, it's probably not going to happen. And he's bought 8, 9, 10 cars off me. And we finally got him the GT3 RS, which the only reason we got him that is because we got an extra pool car, which sometimes can happen. Extra pool car from Porsche. And said, Jim, like, you need to jump on this. Like, I'm going to sell it to someone else if you don't make the decision like now. And I don't mean to be so upfront with you. Like, done. Just done. Like, that was what he wanted. And the journey to it is the journey getting there. But that's the pinnacle of, like, he's like, I've got what I've wanted now, and I've made it, like, in the sense of, like, and now he's at a position now where he can just call the GM and be like, look, I want this car, I want that car, I want this car. Again, within reason, because there's certain models with Porsche you can't get. Right. So It's
is it just that they just don't sell them here, or is it just
so? For example, they've got the GT2 RS coming out. I don't even know what's going to happen with that. It's going to be $750,000 maybe, and they're going to make X amount of them. So, you know, I'd love to get everyone I can one of them, but I think that's going to be a car that Porsche will be like, hey, do you guys want this? Or you had a 918 Spider 10 years ago. Do you want to buy this one? So there's just, and Porsche do a good job of, they got the Macan right up to the 911, and they've done a good job of not devaluing the 911 by having the Macan. I think it works the opposite way. I think the Macan's a better desirable car because of the 911. So, you know, a lot of brands so like Audi, for example, have the R8, and that's $200,000 or whatever it is. They have the Q3 and the cheaper A3s. And I think that's quite hard to balance that. But I think Porsche have done a good job of keeping the value on throughout the whole range of car. Other than, yeah.
Now, do they ever like just cars that we just won't ever see here in the States that they just like kind of allocate to other countries that just we won't ever see?
Good question. Probably not. America's a pretty big market for Porsche, so
I guess there's other way around. Is like we're probably going to see certain cars here that aren't going to be anywhere else in the world.
Maybe, probably not, because Porsches are all made in Germany.
Okay,
so they're all still built in Stuttgart, Zuffenhausen, and Leipzig. So all of them are imported. There's nothing that's like made in Mexico and finished with. They're all made in Germany and imported over the sea. So I think it would, if anything, be the opposite way around. And there's something in Germany that they've released a special edition car for Europe. But I would be very surprised because what I said earlier, like there's just more money in America that they wouldn't make it for the American market. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Plus it's bigger. It's a bigger country in general. So
yeah. More people, more money. Makes sense.
Right.
Why would they not? Well, Josh, I mean, this has been great. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to get to? Or is there anything you want to ask us?
I don't think so. I mean, no, I think we've covered it all. The question about guns is the most interesting one. No, I think, you know, nothing really. No, I think it's a good chat. I'm sure we'll get together again at some point.
Absolutely.
Sure. Good.
Yeah, I have to get you up here a little bit more. I know, you know, you're friends with Jim and all that, and you know, we've gotten to know each other quite a bit over the last couple months. So, but yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on. I'm glad we were able to make this work, and yeah, so
sweet.
We like to end this with one last little question, one little game. We call it the tombstone game.
Oh, geez.
Here lies Josh. What does it say on your tombstone?
Here lies Josh. It's quiet now. I don't know. Here I live, laugh, love. I don't know.
Live, laugh,
love. What would I have? That's a really good question. Gosh, that's a really good question. Here lies Josh. Knock knock. Who's there? Not me anymore. I really don't. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Maybe just keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Perfect.
Keep going.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again for your time today.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you to everybody at home that is watching or listening. Please click that subscribe button for us if you haven't done so already. That would help us out a ton. Pat and I are trying to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube before the end of the year, so help us do that. If you got anything out of this episode, send it to a friend. Click that like button. Comment what you thought below. We'll see you next time.